Hey, what's up, you guys? This is the Bed In Podcast. My name is Daniel,
No, I'm Elena.
and we have a guest here today. We're going to be talking about F9, and
Hey, what's up? It's Rain.
yeah. And so in this podcast, we talk about movies that you may have never seen before, or just movies that we would recommend to you. And we always recommend that you watch the movie before listening to this podcast, but it's up to you. If you want to, that's okay. That's all right. And yeah, let's get right into this then.
So I don't know
agree.
if somebody wants to take the floor first.
You're the guest. I would suggest if you'd like.
Okay.
You can take the floor.
Okay, so I wrote a bunch of notes down because I wasn't sure how this was going to go, but the very first thing I put, and this is how I feel about it, so this is going to divide the room a little bit.
Yeah.
How I felt was that the entire movie is actually a spoof, but it's not on purpose, which makes it the best comedy I've seen in a long time.
Okay.
What's a spoof?
A spoof is when you take an idea for a movie, like they did a spoof of the Karate Kid. So they took the story of Karate Kid and then just made jokes about the entire thing. Like, so instead of like everybody being nice, like they're rude. Like it's just that there was a couple of them called Vampires Suck. There's actually a Fast and Furious spoof on Netflix. It's like Fast Cars or something. I can't remember the name of it, but it's really funny. But the thing is, this is the most unintentionally funny movie I've seen in a long time. There was one spot, I think, that made me actually laugh, and it was from the writing. I want to talk about that later when we get into more of the characters.
Okay.
But that's how I feel about the movie. Just overall, a quick general feel for it. I don't know if you guys want to jump in and give...
Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like the movie was, it was good. It was definitely not my favorite.
Ooh.
And I like, out of all the, like, different movies that they released through the series, I felt like this one, I explained it this way, where it's like, it felt like street racing.
Yeah.
And now it's military racing. And it feels too, like, too forced. Like,
Okay.
I don't know. And, like, whenever the movie had first started, it felt like you were pretty much just jumping straight into the action, right? And, dude, I have a eyelash in my eye. But, yeah, I'm good. But, it kind of felt like it was calming down once, like, I guess they went into Dom's past.
Yeah.
But then, like, it seems weird, and I get it was for the story, but that now Dom's past
Right.
is being talked about.
Right.
And it's this, I don't know, that was a weird thing for me.
Yeah.
It was very odd.
Oh, I should write some of that.
But,
I agree with you.
yeah, I guess that's how I felt about it, to summarize it, I
Yeah.
suppose.
That's a pretty good summarization.
So, what do you think?
I mean, yeah, I kind of agree about the whole Dom's past thing, because for 9 movies now, people had no idea that he even had a brother. And Mia never talked about it either, which was also awkward.
Yeah.
Because, you know, Mia apparently talked to him all the time until he left one day, whatever, but he was never brought up in the 9 movies, which is, I guess, in movie timeline, years of that. So, I don't know. That was more awkward, but I'm a sucker for Fast and Furious movies, so.
Yeah. I have a sweet spot for him too because I grew up with him. So like my dad and my mom always watched them, and I was like, this is interesting. And then I got older, I'm like, "Ey." But
yeah, like I said, it's that transition from like street racing to military racing now.
Right.
I say military racing because like it's just like you know, it used to be like you got some street cars, right, and now it's just like call up like some dude from the government and it's like we need vehicles and like it's like a GTA 5 mechanic. Like I need that insurgent.
Right.
Like,
I mean that's a good analogy for like almost like a skill cap. Once you get so good or a certain level at a game, there's not much more you can do except for just keep going bigger and bigger. And that kind of feels like they've put themselves in a hole here. But I actually feel genuinely that there are parts of this movie that have the potential to maybe take the series in a different way. And I'll talk about that a little later on, but I want to go back to what you were saying, well, what everybody was saying. The fact that, I guess it's not really a spoiler, but John Cena is his brother in this movie. They don't look anything alike.
No.
They don't look remotely the same. I don't know who the mom is, but she clearly might not be the mom. I don't know. I think it might be an adopted son at this point. Like, they're not even close to the same height in real life, I don't think. And, okay, also, his hair's fake. John Cena's got fake hair. There's no way. Dude, it's darker and darker every year, and that's not how hair works. So
Yeah.
let's be real there.
Yeah.
But they do keep bringing the past up and making like new stories. But they did pay homage to why Vin Diesel was in jail when he was younger, anyways, because he killed somebody, and that was always known. But now we know who he killed and why he killed him.
Yeah.
But and again, spoilers. It was totally unjustified,
Mm-hmm.
like by the end of the movie. So like you feel like, okay, I kind of like I wouldn't murder somebody, but like I kind of get it. And then by the end, you're like, oh my god, that guy died for no reason.
Yeah,
Like
seriously.
seriously, he
literally.
died for no reason.
Yeah.
So like that made me feel like my stomach kind of dropped. Of like, oh, don't like, okay, he's already a murderer, right?
Uh-huh.
But he's like a murderer now, like
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
like,
think what was more sad is that, you know, Dom didn't know any of that literally until just now in the movie.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So he thought, you know, he was still serving justice
Oh, yeah, dude, the
like,
guilt
throughout
he
the whole
feels.
movie. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. I didn't think about that. I also have another thing about like it's about Dom. There's something that I noticed. I don't know if it was in the last one or whatever. His son, Dom's son,
Okay.
is named Brian.
Yes.
And that's supposed to be after like Paul Walker's character,
Yeah.
Brian. But the thing is, in the Fast and Furious universe, Paul Walker's not dead.
Yeah.
Brian's still alive. So what that means is that Vin Diesel named his son after a guy who married his sister, who's still alive. Think about that for a minute.
Yeah, because they were brothers.
No.
Not
from the
literal
get-go.
brothers, but yeah, they were
Would you
still brothers.
Would you name your kid after like somebody who got with your sibling?
If I was close enough with them, this
You
movie's
would.
about family.
Okay.
Oh, I
Okay,
mean,
yeah, there you go.
you're kind of onto
Family.
something. Yeah.
I think it's weird, dude. I would not name my kid after somebody who's dating my sister.
I think.
I wouldn't do that.
I think it's just because they were so close, you know, they defeated bad guys.
I think maybe middle name. That's maybe
Yeah.
like maybe that's okay. Because
Alright.
like
Okay, you know what? I can be wrong here. That's okay, but that's how I feel. So judge me all you want. I think it's weird. I think it's great that to pay homage to Paul Walker, right?
Mhm.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But and I guess spoilers again. This is something I wrote. He pulls up at the end.
Yeah, I know.
And so he's not dead.
I think it would have like been cooler if they just named the kid Paul.
Yeah, actually, I think that
That's
would have been
true.
way better.
Yeah, instead of
Actually,
Brian.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
think they're just doing like a touch of remembrance without saying in the Fast and Furious world that Paul Walker is dead.
Yeah.
And won't be
Yeah.
returning to the movies.
Right, but then they had him pull up.
Yeah, I know.
So like, what was that? What's going? Are they gonna CG his brother back in? Because that's what they did the last
oh,
time.
yeah, I know.
true.
At
Yeah.
the beach.
Oh my gosh.
No, I don't think he'll ever be in it, but, you know, in the Fast and Furious world, he's still alive watching all the kids for everybody.
Right. And that was crazy too.
Yeah.
Like he sent the sister,
They're
and
like, he's in the best hands.
Was
Brian's
she-
got them.
I don't remember her being capable of doing what she did in this movie before. Was she? Or
Yeah.
I might have forgot.
Yeah,
Because in this movie she came out like she was always a karate master.
I
and
thought-
I remember them just being like regular people, and now they all just have immaculate MMA
Yeah, I
and
don't know about that
kickboxing.
stuff.
Like that's
That is true.
crazy.
I know
That's
they've
too
like
much.
punched people and fought people, and I know she was like a street racer and everything, and
She did seem like she got some like military training between F8 and like F9.
Yeah.
Because like I felt like she was definitely more like hands-on combat this
Mhm.
time, and
Yeah.
like was like on top of the fighting and everything.
Yeah.
By the way, are you comfortable where you're at?
Yeah, I'm good.
I can.
I'm good.
Here, let me move.
No,
these
I'm good. I'm
oh,
good. I'm
okay,
good. We're
you're
good. Thank you though. Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
I felt bad because like I didn't get a proper seat.
That's okay, man. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me onto the podcast.
Of course, yes.
I don't know if you guys have somewhere you specifically want to take it, but I have another.
You go.
I like the theories and questions.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah,
awesome. Because I have.
To be honest,
plenty.
I really like. I think I'm inspired by
Yeah.
what you're doing,
Oh.
and that probably doing
man.
like note taking and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's probably a really good idea
It
for
helps
like.
keep things on
I
track.
agree. I agree.
Okay, so what I wanted to give the credit, oh goodness, so sorry. What I wanted to give the movie credit for
Okay.
was that what I was proved wrong. What I thought was the first callback to the Tokyo Drift characters. So what is his name again?
That was. Let's scroll down. It was
no,
Lucas.
it was Lucas Black.
Yep.
Lucas Black. So he was in
Yeah, right there.
Tokyo Drift.
Mhm.
I actually really liked that movie.
Yeah,
I
oh yeah,
watched
I
it,
love
like,
that one.
Last year, and it was surprisingly held up pretty well.
Mhm.
Like there are moments that were weird, but I
Yeah.
really like those characters.
Mhm.
Who was who's the rapper that went? Oh, Bow Wow. Bow Wow. Okay, so in this one, for me, this was the first time I saw these characters again, and I can remember going to the movies to see, Fast 7, 8, right, like all
Yeah.
those, and I was like, I just want to see those characters come back and like see what they could do with them.
Yeah.
And I think that they did really good.
Oh,
this
I
time.
agree. Yeah.
Like they
Yeah.
had enough screen time to where we didn't get sick of them, but what they had was the first genuine laugh I had about the writing, not just that I was laughing about the movie. What they did with those characters was actually funny. Just like that they were these like badass sick racers, and then like they're the first ones in the series to not like upgrade. You know what I mean? Like just magically know how to do everything. Yeah. They were struggling and blowing up cars left and right to like make rocket ships. Right. I thought that was super cool. And although it was like a rocket ship thing, which is crazy, I still think it was enough character writing and enough based in not absurdity that it was almost like watching an older Fast and Furious movie. Like they didn't need to. That could have failed, and then they could have did something else, and I would have enjoyed it probably more than them going to space, which I will talk about because I have something for that too. But you know, I'm just really happy with the way that they came in. Like I remember genuinely smiling in the movie theater because I saw Lucas Black's character. And then Bow Wow, I was immediately like, oh my god, because to be honest with you, I thought that he would say no, because usually that's what like a lot of rappers do. They'll be like, I don't want to come back, or I don't know. I assumed that they wouldn't be able to come back with him because I haven't seen him do anything. Like, I thought maybe he quit Fame. You know what I mean? Like that sounds stupid, but like I haven't heard music from him. Maybe he puts it out. I just haven't heard it. So when I saw them both, I'm like, oh, this is great. I thought that the movie was gonna go like this after that. I mean, it didn't really go, you know, straight up, but it did get better for sure. So I'm really happy that they did that. I got to give the movie props for reintroducing those characters in a good way instead of just using them for like a short cameo and then we don't see them again. Which is what they usually do.
I thought it was fun that they were like it was some like comedic relief. And it was like it was very wholesome, especially whenever they pretty much raced the one jet. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, me too. I thought that was actually very entertaining, and the way it was shot was, again, it reminded me of an old Fast and Furious.
Yeah, it was
because
good.
It wasn't this crazy crane arm 360 shot. It was just like a racing shot. And I'm like, oh my god, they can do it still. Why don't they do it? Because this is what people like. This is why people, you know, want to do it in the first place.
And to be honest, whenever I was watching it, I don't know what was going through my head, but like, I was waiting for the car to take off into the sky. I was waiting for like it's a jagged wings or something like that, because I'm like, this is a Fast and Furious movie, and this is what I have to expect.
Right.
And for the vehicle to just like skirt out and just like sit there, I was like really confused, but also like really satisfied. And they were so excited that it made me excited.
That's exactly how I
thought
felt.
that part was so funny. Because Tej and Roman are just like, why are you excited it didn't hit the plane? They're just like, it didn't blow up.
That was a good one. I love it.
Yeah, that was genuinely good. Oh, I'm so sorry. I was going to talk about Roman because there was a moment in the beginning of the movie, and I guess spoilers again, just all around spoilers. He dies. Right, quote unquote. You remember that?
He died like 4 times.
I know, but that first time I busted out laughing.
Yeah,
like,
it was so weird.
Which part was the first time?
He goes like, "Dum."
The car, the big car that gets stuck. I just started laughing because I'm like, this, like, I don't know why, and it's terrible, but I got excited because I'm like, that subverted my expectations. I'm like, oh, is this movie gonna just go off the rails, and are we like nobody's safe? Because at the moment, and this is something I want to talk about too. I didn't write it down, but I remember now. Thank goodness. There's like specific writing. And I don't know if you guys have heard about this. It's online about like their character like contracts. So like Vin Diesel and The Rock have this big thing where like it's calculated how many punches they take and how many they throw, and it's supposed to be equal. And like they can't, if they're thrown, they're not like supposed to land in a way that makes them look weak. Like literally, this is a thing that came out that they talked about, discussed in the writing room, which is absurd that we let Vin Diesel have $1 million movies, right? And he's like, I don't want to get hit too much. That's like, what was that, dude? That's crazy, but it's so funny at the same time, and it makes sense.
I'm
not surprised that look at him, that guy. He's like, I don't want to get hit too much. Like, I don't want to look weak.
That's weird. I didn't know it was a thing.
It's crazy. I heard that, and it's like, I don't know why I'm whispering, but I was like, that makes so much sense now, though. Because like I'm trying to think of a time where they actually lost a fight. Like when did any of them actually lose
or when
a fight?
one looked like they won.
Right. They kind of, unless it's a character that's the bad guy. The good guys always seem to just walk away. It's crazy. But I don't know if you guys have something else to go off of that, but I have another.
Like going back to the whole Roman thing. Whenever like okay, so now did the thing land in front of him?
Yeah, it did.
Okay, but like, if it did smash him, like, do we just like I wonder
hilarious.
How would the movie had shifted? You know what I'm saying?
My favorite thing was that it went from that cut, and then it immediately turned towards the people, and they're like, "Oh my god, he's dead."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Yes."
Well, they didn't even look that phase. They were just like,
yeah, like
like a sigh.
I knew it was
like,
gonna happen.
Yeah.
He didn't sign the contract and got get hit that much.
So like, this is gonna reference to a completely different movie.
Yeah.
The Hunt.
Okay.
There was a scene where a really like famous like big actor was, I believe, the clerk. Okay. He gets like this is a spoiler for anybody that didn't watch that movie. The Hunt.
You're good.
Just gets blasted.
Yeah.
Just shotgun straight to the chest or something like that, and he's dead. Like, this is a big actor. You're expecting him to live, and he just dies.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I thought happened there.
Right.
And it was so confusing.
Right.
I just I think I just didn't expect it.
Yeah.
And like, it shocked me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think even like the tone changed, like the music wise, sound wise, to drop it to make you think that he died.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It was just, I'm not saying I'm disappointed.
Yeah.
But, like, I think I felt the same thing.
Yeah. Well, because I thought it was gonna be like, oh my god, no one's safe anymore.
Yeah,
like, there's
exactly.
Because like anytime there's a big chase scene or like people are shooting, there's never any true stakes.
Yeah.
We're at a point now where there's no like, is he gonna die? Because like, how many times has Han died? Like 3 times now? Like how many? At least twice. Once he crashed in Tokyo, and then didn't he do something? Okay.
It was the Tokyo one, that's it.
Gotcha. And I'm sorry, I forgot you were the expert. I apologize. No, I'm not even being sarcastic because you've already proved me wrong. So I should believe you. Either way, the fact that Han died and came back just shows anybody is safe. Like, I think his girlfriend's going to come back.
I think that the way that they, because they did give some, like, backstory as to how Han, like, how, like, his death was, like, faked and stuff like that. I think it was, like, kind of done well.
Yeah. No, I like the backstory they gave to him because I knew nothing about him.
Mm-hmm. He was my favorite character. And he still is.
I liked him a lot from Tokyo Drift.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So like I wanted to know more about him, and it's crazy that it was is it Shaw or Hobbs? Whoever Jason Statham plays is the one that actually assassinated him or whatever.
Oh yeah.
That's who's supposed to do it.
At the end, were you at the? Did you watch this
I did see it. I was going to talk about that,
gosh.
but if you want to talk about it now, that's fine. We can circle back to what I was going to talk about. Yeah? Are you excited?
If you got something to
No,
say.
it was just so intense. So everyone who's listening to this, I hope you have seen the other movies. But to the movies that lead up to this, Han was killed in a car accident, and I think his name is Shaw.
I think it's Shaw. I think you're right. Because I think Hobbs is the Rock's character.
Yeah, but Shaw is the one that, causes him this accident and makes him die. So, I mean, everyone in the Fast and Furious world believes that Han is dead. And then, we find out in this movie that he comes back. So, when that happens, towards the end of the movie, he's back with the gang, whatever, and Shaw doesn't know, but Han shows up at Shaw's house. And then, they're just in, like, a moment of struck and shock. Well, Shaw is, at least. And then it just ends.
Sorry, no, you're good.
I was going to say, I'd like for F10...
Yeah.
that there's just like an ass kicking scene.
Okay.
Between Han and that Shaw guy.
Yeah.
Just like right in the beginning.
Why would there be though? That doesn't make any sense because Han knew he was gonna fake die. So there's no reason for him to actually be mad over that guy. Plus, they've already redeemed Shaw's character to be a good guy.
Actually,
so I don't understand why they fight anyways.
That's true.
I think it's pretty much gonna be like
a team up. I'm hoping it's like another Hobbs and Shaw. Okay. I don't know if did you guys see Hobbs and Shaw?
No, yeah. I didn't know the connect. I thought that like what did Shaw do? Then?
He like wrecked the car he thought he was killing him on purpose.
Oh.
So if there's conflict, it might be Shaw going after him thinking, "Oh, I got to finish his contract."
Yeah.
Or that Shaw doesn't know that he knows he was supposed to die, so maybe he thinks the guy survived and is coming back for revenge. So maybe there is a connect for a fight.
That's something I didn't realize. And,
right.
Like, pick up
but
on.
I feel like after the redemption they've done for Shaw, I don't see them. I feel like it's gonna be another Hobbs Shaw, like a team up movie.
Yeah, because they helped Dom last one.
Right. Yeah, and I really liked Hobbs and Shaw, and that was something I wanted to circle back to that I have written down because it actually affects this because the big the big thing about this movie that I think is like, because everyone has like that moment, like Fast 8 was the submarine and the plane and the couple, you know what I mean? This one was when Roman and Tej, did I say it? They went to space,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so everybody's like, oh my god, this is crazy. That's not the craziest thing that's happened in the series. That's absolutely
Mm-hmm.
not. Because if you saw Hobbs and Shaw, there's literally superheroes now.
That's fair, yeah.
So that's not even remote. Like, people go to space all the time. That's not crazy. It's crazy they put him in the car or whatever. But like the fact that guy that they fought in the end of the movie just was like dumped off a cliff, and he was pretty much immortal anyways. Like, you think like that's just gone now? Like, that's not how that works at all.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if Hobbs and Shaw is gonna get like a sequel type of thing with Han and Shaw. It would be really cool to see all three line up.
That
And
would
a
be.
call back to you guys' last podcast, which is I'll talk about the thing that I was going to coach you guys for anyways. Ryan Reynolds was actually in Hobbs and Shaw. Do you guys remember that? He was the one who got them together. And then at the end, it seemed like he might have actually been a bad guy. So I wonder if Ryan Reynolds, Han, and maybe The Rock and Jason Statham will be in their own. I think that would be a great way to take the series.
I think
Because
so too, yeah.
then it doesn't have this weight of the old ones. It has a new face, and then it can go in their own way.
They won't do it though.
No, they won't. But I would love that.
You guys are so
Love
right,
that.
yeah. Oh my god.
No, I agree with you, but that would be amazing if they did that.
I
No,
have
I
a
agree.
guess of what they're gonna start doing.
You have a guess?
Yes.
Okay, are we getting to theories?
Sure.
Because I have a theory too. Or are you ready for theories?
Yeah, go for your
Yeah,
theory.
I
I'm
can go
ready
for
if you're
theories.
ready.
So my theories are, Mia and Brian's children, and same with, Dom and, Letty's stepson, whatever. Dom and Letty's child. They're gonna be like, teenagers and older.
Yeah.
So everyone's gonna be teaching them how to drive and like ways of the roads and stuff like that. So I feel like they're gonna be introduced as characters. I guess it depends on how many more movies they make, but I feel like within the next 2 movies they'll be introduced as characters.
Probably.
Because in this one, the children's already 6 years old.
It's got to be somewhere around there because he knows like he
How
can
to
talk
hide,
and how to hide and all that.
run,
So he's
all
got to
that.
be old
Yeah.
enough. He seems the way he acts might be the Toretto way or whatever, but
Yeah.
he seems older than 6. You know what I mean? Like just
yeah.
the way he acts. So anyways, you were saying.
Yeah, I just feel like that'll be like a spin-off because it's the children and they're fighting their own battles and they're gonna call their parents for help and all this old stuff. So I don't know. I feel like that's gonna be something they're gonna chase it off with.
Do you think that they would go for more like street racing kind of stuff at that point?
That would be a great way to spin it off, to go
Yeah.
back to the old school, because maybe they go back to where they're originally from,
Mm-hmm.
because they're all tied up with the government now, but their kids aren't.
Exactly.
So that would be a fun way to do it. I wonder if there's, watch them do like a Netflix series for the kids or something.
For real.
Well, they did an animated thing that I don't think did very well, because it's not
Yeah.
talked about very much, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're
Haven't
like
even
the
heard of it.
kids of blah, 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 Fast and Furious, because they
Yeah.
do that all the time with
I think that
teenagers.
would actually be a really cool show if they would come out with that.
I think the concept would be great, and I don't mean to like dog on Netflix, but I can't remember the last time I heard about something Netflix was doing, watched it, and went, that was amazing.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? Like, they tend to go a little too much in a certain direction. Netflix's Daredevil, I heard, was amazing, but then their other Marvel series did not do as well, and there were like 6 others.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
But I do have a theory as well, and it's not, yours is more realistic. Mine, I don't think will ever come to fruition, but I think it's true.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't think, okay, here's what I wrote. Let me just, there's 2 things about Dominic that I want to say. You know what, let me get to this thing first and then the theory.
Okay.
Dominic sacrifices himself at a certain point in this movie,
Yes.
which is
Yeah.
absolutely nothing. It does not mean anything because he can't die. He can't die. He doesn't
Yeah.
even die in that scene.
Yeah.
All right, and this is leading to my theory. Here's my theory. You ready? He's not actually a human. I think he's a god.
What?
I think he's a god. I think he's a god. Listen, okay, not a god, but I think he might have some type of superpowers the same way they did in Nanotech, because did he not literally rip metal in that sacrifice scene? He was ripping metal from the concrete ceilings and was holding off how many full-grown
They were
adults?
chains.
They were
the
chains.
They were
And then he
chains.
You
pulled that
genuinely
concrete
think
down.
that even the strongest, lifter in the world could pull that entire platform down, and
It's
then also
the Fast and Furious
for
world.
family.
Yes.
Which is pointless
So it's
because he
not.
goes into the water and then not even in the next scene he's saved. So it's like, you could have just came up with us. Like,
Yeah.
really, it was pointless for you to
yeah.
do that at all.
Yeah, okay, so I don't really know how
Mhm.
this giant, the tunnel, I don't know, silo looking thing
Yeah,
that they're
I
in.
don't get what that
I don't
is
know
either.
how it works,
Yeah.
but I'm imagining you got a little platform, right?
Mhm.
You got the concrete that he brought down with him,
Yeah.
right? You got all the different other bodies.
Mhm.
You got him sinking to the bottom, right?
Mhm.
She, I'm assuming, jumped from that peak of the
Yeah.
ladder
Yup.
right down into the water with all the
debris,
concrete. Yeah.
Yep.
And where is there a ladder that goes back up? Like, is there a door? Like I don't know.
It's Letty and Dom. It makes sense.
I know. They probably climbed out, like Breath of the Wild style, just climbed the wall, just all the way
but
up.
Like, there was a missing scene. You know what I'm saying?
I know. Yeah, no, I know. And I love the flashback he had in his brain.
Yeah.
Because it okay, you guys aren't gonna like, because I like it because it like shows so much character development, and then he still doesn't forgive his brother. Like, but listen, like they're okay with each other, but he's still like, I don't like you. You know what I mean? Like they're not really. There's no good moment there. Like they fight together to beat the main bad guy or whatever that was, but really, then John Cena just drives away, and I'm like, what? And this is what I got mad about. Great, bring Paul Walker back. I like that character a lot. I know you can't, but whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
John Cena should have pulled up in the end of the movie. Should not have been Paul Walker. Should have been John Cena that they were waiting on for that last seat. That would have been an amazing way to end that movie. Because then that would have showed family really coming together, and then that they could have been, they could have done more movies than together. And maybe because they're together, and I don't understand how you could even go higher than this. You'd have to bring the Hobbs and Shaw superpowers in to go higher than the space, but...
I think, like, the reason Dom gives Jacob, his brother, the keys at the end of the movie is because Jacob knows that he has so many people that's going to be after him.
Yeah.
So that's why I think he goes off on his own to not jeopardize, family. Yeah. And with all the kids and stuff.
Yeah. But does he even know about... I mean, he knows about the kids. Yeah. For sure. But how many times were they all on the run?
Yeah.
And then they're just like, we have children, it's okay.
Yeah,
it's okay. And then the next movie, they're like, yeah, we work with the government now. Weren't they just after you yesterday?
Yeah.
What happened there?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh man, I know that on one of the past movies, didn't they have like a car bomb or a mailbox bomb at the house that they lived at?
I think it got blown up because weren't they rebuilding it?
Yeah.
Am I wrong with that?
What?
That was one of the old movies.
Yeah, it was I think it was Shaw that did it.
Yeah. So
he placed it was a package on the front porch.
Mm-hmm.
And Brian was putting his child in the minivan, and then he slammed the door shut.
Yeah. I was gonna bring up that with all this government stuff and them being on the run, they never change place.
No.
That's the home. That's a family home. Like,
I think that's why they work with the government, because that's the only way to get out of it.
Yeah, they got their slates cleaned a bunch of times.
Yeah,
that is true. Yeah,
because the government's like, we can't. The SWAT teams don't work.
Yeah, Mr. Nobody was a government guy.
Did he die? He died in that one, right? He died in this one because he sent that SOS or whatever.
Yeah.
Who played him? Because I thought that was so. Was it Kurt Russell or am I way? Yes. That's the funniest thing to see him in anything other than because I've seen. Okay, he was in a Netflix show. And he was Santa Claus. So now anytime I see him, I can't not see Santa Claus. So I saw Santa Claus pop up and say, "I'm gonna die."
That's hilarious.
I'm like, no, not Santa. That's how it felt.
I always love it whenever you have that one actor that's well known for being
his brother. That's his brother. You know what? Did he drive the car?
He probably
did drive the car.
Okay, for people who... Well, there's no actual visual... Okay, so right now we're looking at all the cast, and we saw that Cody Walker, Paul Walker's brother was actually in the movie. So he must have been at least... Oh, well, hold on. Isn't that interesting? Because isn't that the woman that's supposed to be dead? Oh, my goodness.
It played the flashback.
It must have been, yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't remember the flashback to Paul Walker, though. Oh, okay, so sorry to Chris Mardula. He's just a thug. That's it.
Thug.
At least he has some type of credit.
Yeah, at least he made it to the cast. Some of these people don't even have names.
Yeah, no, they're just in there.
Even some of the main people, like the
main cast members.
Yeah, because he doesn't have his name on here. So
no.
I don't know.
Well, he was only an end credit scene though.
That's fair.
Although, yeah, you're right. It doesn't make sense. And Finn. Oh, listen. Here's the thing. I think to go all the way back, which I guess is all through the movie, but. Who they cast to play the young Vin Diesel and the young John Cena is terrible in the first scene because they look nothing like them.
Yeah.
But they grew on me through the movie.
Yeah,
they
grew on
they
me.
did.
The first scene, I sat and I'm like, that's not them. I thought that was a different set of people.
I thought it was his grandpa, and that's why he got the name. And I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah.
But once you realize the characters did grow on me, I'm like, oh, it looks like him. But
yeah.
No.
I'm wondering if Vinny Bennett's or because I don't or young Dom.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering if his voice is actually really deep in real life.
I don't know.
I feel
it's
like
different.
Yeah,
It's different from then to like maybe prison changed him. Like I don't
That's
know.
true. Yeah, that
I don't
could
know.
have been that.
Do you guys know who Noel Miller is? You know Tiny Meat Gang? Do you know them?
Yeah, I've heard
Okay,
of him. Yeah.
he looks just like Noel Miller.
Oh,
Dude.
really?
Yeah, just like Noel Miller. not Finkel.
Oh, not Finkel?
Vinny Bennett.
Oh,
Looks
Vinny
just
Bennett?
Like Noel
Okay.
Miller. So listeners will probably know what I'm talking about. But I'm out of bulletin points. The only thing left for me is the memes to talk about.
The memes,
because the family meme, it's funny, but it got ruined for me.
Okay.
Because my actual family found it through Facebook first. And when actual family, like older people, are like, for family, I'm like, okay, all right, it's ruined already.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
enough at that point.
Yeah, so then it's weird. I've never seen a meme make its rounds on Facebook, then Instagram. Because I swear it was all over Facebook and then Instagram. But anything, like, this is what I look at it like, oh my god, it's just like the Minions meme. Like, I feel like Minions could have been on the same level, close to like SpongeBob, if it wouldn't have hit Facebook.
Yeah.
That's
If old
fair.
people didn't know about Minions, I think Minions would be better.
That's true.
I'm serious. But also that's how I feel about the whole Fast and Furious series.
Like
It's
getting
very
to that
hard.
point.
It's very hard to take it serious. It's very hard to enjoy it. And the only moments that I enjoy are the ones that I know. Like, my mom's not gonna remember who Lucas Black was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're the moments that like I've made with the series, not what I was taught or what the older people tell
That
me about
makes
the
sense.
series. So
Yeah.
like, I don't know. And dude, hey, rest in peace Bauer's career, brother. I don't know what he's doing. I haven't seen him anywhere in
Me
so
either.
long. I'm happy to see him back. Maybe he'll do more. But it was so. We should do. I don't know if you guys are down for it, but we should just go through the whole series. And talk about the old ones, because the rewatch of them is actually really good. I really
know.
enjoyed the second and the third one.
I love rewatching them.
So
Yeah.
and dude, hey, another thing about the movie is they've done Tyrese or Roman. They've done him dirty, because he was so good in the second movie. Like, he was a competent like character.
You know,
he was like a little.
That was just him and Brian and the girl that's all the way at the bottom.
Yeah, and that was such a good. I think, honestly, I'm not even gonna lie. I think the best actor in the series is Paul Walker. I genuinely believe he was the best actor.
Yeah.
But their chemistry together worked so well.
It did.
So much better. Honestly, I could never see Dom and Paul Walker together again. I like it. It doesn't work the same as Tyrese and him did.
I just think Paul Walker definitely had chemistry with every single person.
Oh, yeah.
He was such a great actor.
Oh my god, yeah,
It
amazing.
just showed so well.
I think what I enjoyed about Paul Walker's character is that, like, although he was doing the most badass stuff, he wasn't impenetrable, right?
Yeah.
Like, you could tell, like, in moments whenever he was fighting, like,
Right.
that one, like, airplane scene,
Yeah.
that, like, he was taking damage,
Right.
you know?
Right.
And, like, it seemed like after every get up or punch that Vin Diesel takes, you know he's gonna come out on top.
Yeah.
And, like, you just hope that Paul Walker's coming out on top, you know? And, I don't know. I think that's what made, like... And I also gotta say, like, whenever you said they did Roman dirty, it felt like he got stupider
That's
throughout
what I was
the
saying.
movies.
Like, he was competent. He wasn't a genius in the first one, but he was, like, I know he wrecked that car, but, like, he was a good enough driver.
Yeah.
Like, and he's good in these ones, right? But, like, he just seemed like he was he had potential to be this big
in these
character.
movies, he's always last.
Yeah.
He's always the last car.
But then they've
he's
stuck him
always
with
the stupid
Edge.
one.
And I think that they think that chemistry works, and it's not bad.
Yeah.
But it's nothing close to what Paul Walker's in his was, or even forget that. Like, and this is gonna sound stupid, but I think that Queenie and Vin Diesel's chemistry in that scene that was great.
It's awesome.
That was
I
really
love
good.
their chemistry.
And dude, Cardi B killed it. I genuinely enjoyed her in the movie, and usually I don't like cameos like that, but she actually, like, I think who she is fit that character so well that she was like method acting her whole life.
I think it was
for
only
this
like a
character.
30-second clip.
It was
wasn't
short.
Yeah.
It was
so
short.
short.
But it was short enough to be effective, and you're like, that makes sense for her to play that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
that
it works.
wasn't out of nowhere. But I have a controversial opinion. I think okay, this is what I think. I think Paul Walker, to me, is like the main character of the series. He was from the get-go. I don't think he would have stuck with it as long as Vin Diesel has, if he was still around.
You don't
I
think
think
so?
Paul Walker would have left. Because I think Paul Walker was a good enough actor. Like, there was still drama for the ones he was in. And then now, from what he did, like, the drama acting he does, maybe he would have stuck around for Friends. I don't think he would have done all this. Like, that's a
military
lot.
and, like,
right, like
government.
space and superheroes.
Yeah.
I don't know though, but that's just because I like what he did in the originals. Like,
Well, I think the whole
know.
series would be completely different if he was still in
Oh,
the movies.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
So
Do you think that the direction would have probably gone more straight still, or do you think
I hope so, because it was already getting more militarized.
It was,
but it wasn't to the point. I mean, there was absurd moments, but it wasn't to the point of space and superheroes.
Yeah.
But also, this is a whole separate video podcast, whatever. You guys should do a deep dive on Vin Diesel's Facebook. It's insane. It's insane. No one should let him have a Facebook page.
Oh, no.
He's one of the lead writers.
Okay.
Of the Fast and Furious series now.
Oh.
Like
I didn't know he wrote.
Well, I don't. Okay, writing is in quotations. I think he comes up
okay.
with ideas, and then somebody else writes. But he's the one who comes up with the ideas.
Oh.
I gotta be honest. He was great in Riddick.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he should be writing stories for movies. I think he's a great action actor. I really do.
Yeah.
I think he does great when he's vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I just don't like Vin Diesel as an actor
Yeah.
as much as I like Paul Walker or even any of the other ones. Like, you know.
Yeah, you bringing that up, it kind of took me back to some of the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I really enjoyed a lot of the different scenes with whenever he would get like slammed through brick walls and stuff like that, or like the surrounding area would break around him.
Mm-hmm.
It made me think he was strong, right?
Yeah.
And that he's the strongest out of the family, like the group, right?
Yeah.
But honestly, going all the way back to what we were talking about with the scene with the chains,
Yeah.
that is whenever it became absurdity for me.
Yeah.
And then I was like, he's not strong, he's a god.
That's what I'm like. I would not be surprised if in a future movie they come out and say that while Vin Diesel was like hurt one day or whatever, like the government put those nano chips in him.
Yeah,
and that's why he's got super. I would not be surprised.
Yeah.
And I don't think anybody would be mad about it because I think it's understandable. Like at this point.
Yeah.
But the thing I want to go back to Paul Walker about, obviously, rest in peace. I have no ill. Like I'm not trying to say anything bad.
Mm-hmm.
I think Paul Walker in the early movies was the most fleshed out character. I think what his like drives were made the most sense because we saw both sides of him, like the family and then what he was before.
Yeah.
He was. This is what I think about was great. I think this is why Paul Walker was the main character because Paul Walker was our in to the family.
Yeah.
Because we were as a viewer, we're outsiders too. We're not in the family, and so was Paul Walker. And then he made his way in,
That's
just like
true.
how we made,
That's
it was
true.
great
Yeah.
symbolism. So where he went, we went. And I think that's why when now we deal with the government, it's weird. Because it made sense when Paul Walker was around because he was still like a cop or whatever department he was in. So there was that connection. It made sense on what was going on.
Oh,
But after
yeah.
Paul Walker, like I get it because like you could say, oh, because they worked with him in the past.
Right.
It still is strange.
And the thing is like even though he's still alive in the movie, he's already out of it. You know what I'm saying? So he's doing family stuff now.
Yeah.
So like it still wouldn't make sense anyways.
Yeah.
You know, even if he was like truly dead in the movie,
Right.
like they played him off as dead, it still wouldn't make any sense.
I don't. Yeah, right. I agree with you. I don't think there's any way to kill him off in the series that's gonna appease everybody. I don't think there is. I think people will be upset. But you're right. That's a good point that he's still around, and that might be how they're still in the government. But it doesn't help because we don't get to see any of that or explain any of that.
I think it makes less sense because he's out of that.
Right.
And
right. It seems like he's retired.
Exactly.
But
So,
the other thing that I wanted to say was, did you feel anything when he was Dominic sacrificing himself? It felt empty.
it felt like
I didn't feel any tension whatsoever when he pulled those down and everything dropped.
Like it was definitely intense, but the second that he hit the water, and I think that if the scene shifted away from him, then I would have probably felt something. But the fact that the scene shifted to his thoughts and his
well, there's no point to show flashback if he's gonna be dead anyway. You're right. That's a really good way to look at it. I just assumed he wasn't gonna die.
Yeah.
But there's no weight to anything anymore. I guess that's one of my biggest gripes. But we've been going for 41 minutes, and I'm so sorry.
That's okay. This is the longest
Right.
bed and podcast episode.
It doesn't feel like 41 minutes because I feel like I don't feel like there's been dead air. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I agree.
Can I bring up something real quick?
Absolutely. I'm sorry.
What's awkward about this movie is you guys know how Mia showed up and was talking to Dom and was like, oh, I wouldn't miss this. Like, I have to be here. But in the past movies, when Paul Walker was alive, it was always Paul Walker showing up. And he's like, I have to be here. Mia doesn't do this stuff anymore.
Yeah.
She's at home. And, stuff like that. I think she could have stayed out of this movie. I think it's a little awkward that she's now coming back saying, I wouldn't miss this, and blah, blah,
I think
blah.
I know why. Now that I'm thinking about it. It's her brother.
I mean, yeah, that's true.
I think that's the
That
connection.
is true, yeah.
It's not Paul Walker's brother. I think that might be the only thing connecting it. I didn't
That'll
think about
be the
that till
reason
right
why
now.
she's here.
That is fair.
But yeah, I don't know. Oh, the thing I wanted to go at you two for, which it makes sense. The last podcast, I thought it was so funny. So one of the main characters is Ryan Reynolds, right? Biggest name right now, like huge, right? You guys didn't. The podcast was how long? 20 minutes. It was about 20 minutes, right?
It wasn't long.
You guys didn't even say Ryan Reynolds' name until 10 minutes into the podcast. It took 10 minutes to say Ryan Reynolds, and I started laughing because it clicked. I'm like, oh my god, that's the first time. This is the first time you guys said it.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a bad call. I just thought it was really funny.
Yeah.
No,
That
that's
you guys
fair.
like missed out on that name, and I hadn't seen the movie, but I feel like I've seen the movie now. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So-
I think that, like, there's definitely things that I'm learning whenever, like, with doing this podcast.
You guys did a really good recap. Like, I got the whole gist, and I know how you guys feel about it. So for what it was good for what it was.
Okay, well, that's
I
good
think
to
you
hear.
guys are on a really good path.
I appreciate it. Thank you. And honestly, like, I there's this one girl on this. I just wanted to see how you felt about her. I'm trying to find her. She was the one with the little circle glasses. She was the.
Right there. Ramsey? Is that what you're talking about?
Well, yes, Ramsey. Yeah.
I forgot that she was a character.
Yeah.
She was in the last one? She was in the last one? I completely forgot about her.
Yeah.
She was supposed
the
to.
hacker
I think
girl.
she was more of like a. She wanted like main character vibes in the last one because they kidnapped Ramsey and they wanted Ramsey and blah blah blah. So like she was, I guess, like a focal point in the last one.
Right.
So now she's just here and won't leave. She's a part of the family now.
There's a scene where she was, in the like the magnetic van or whatever.
Yeah.
And, Ty, I can't remember his name. Tej? It's
Tej.
Tej.
Yeah.
I want to say Ludacris.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
it's just ludicrous. Tej and Roman are walking up to it and they see the two bodyguards or whatever, and they go, "Oh, look at their ears. They have the cauliflower ear because they're fighters." They all fight all the time. They should all have cauliflower ear. If they're all as trained as they look like, they should all have cauliflower ear. And that bothered me.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's no way. Why would they have it and you don't? And then also they walked up and just beat him.
Yeah, I was
Like,
gonna say.
I was like, okay, that
I
doesn't
think
make any
Roman
sense.
did that, and then Tej was just like, really?
Oh
man?
right, yeah, Roman ran into it. But
that fight in the back of the van lasted a long time.
yeah, it did. I feel like it went for too long, and it could have been. Oh, that upset me too. I can't remember the actual scene. I didn't write it down. There's a scene where they were pulling the car, right, and it went through the buildings or whatever.
Yeah.
And like moments before, it was pulling anything metal, and then out of nowhere, it just pulled the car, and that was it.
Yeah.
Like that was strange. Like it just worked. Sorry, it worked for plot reasons, but not for like how it was actually set up. Oh, sorry, you're good.
Okay, no, you made a really good point because you remember whenever they were first testing the magnets and they pranked Roman whenever he was eating?
Right.
Remember how I think it was Ramsey held on to the metal things on the desk?
Yeah.
And they put it on like full blast, everything went, right? Okay. They pulled a car through buildings, right?
Right.
Like, she ain't gonna just hold that car, you know? It just, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either because didn't they amp it up after they got it back? So it should have been stronger.
Yeah, I think so.
I think so.
So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
but
know.
It's like so there's this, and it's an analogy that works, but it works for like anything. So there's this YouTube content creator named Nakey Jakey. I really like him. I've talked about him before. He has this review of Red Dead Redemption 2. Okay. And what he says is that he's okay with games and stuff like that having weird rules on how the world works, but once you teach them, stay consistent. Don't change the rules.
Yeah.
That created issues for him in the game. And I think that's a great analogy for this movie completely. Because it sets up rules that work for them in the moment, but then, like, it doesn't, and then it does, like, it only works when they need it to work. Yeah. And it's like, if they were, I feel like it would be more entertaining if they were to create moments where, like, it went too hard. Yeah. And then, like, they did a couple of times where the car, like, slammed and they moved or whatever, but, like, if they're like, oh, we just messed them up, you know, then they had to, like, come up with something new. Like, I feel like there's better ways to write that than just, like, well, we could just say it's not as strong now, and then it is strong, even though they did the same thing. It's fine. No one don't care. It's Fast and Furious.
Yeah. I think that, like, I wish that there was more failures and improvising things. Right.
And I think that's what I liked about the characters from Tokyo Drift. They weren't perfect people from the get-go, and like they weren't these super advanced car drivers who know jujitsu or whatever. Like Bow Wow gained a lot of weight from the last one, and Lucas Black is going bald. Like, bro, I'm going bald too, but like they're not perfect people. Whereas like Vin Diesel and like everybody else is perfect. Like John Cena dyes his hair. Like they're these perfect, you know what I'm saying? Like,
oh my god,
they're these perfect characters, and then flawed characters show up. I think that's what I liked so much about them.
Yeah, no, I agree with that completely. Honestly, I think. Like this might sound weird because it was a completely like jump away from the series, but Tokyo Drift was so good.
I know, dude.
It really was.
It was the first like spin-off in a way. I think both the spin-offs I enjoyed. Like I'd watch Hobbs and Shaw again, and I would watch Tokyo Drift again. Yeah. And we should do one for Hobbs and Shaw because I have a lot to say about Hobbs and Shaw because I really liked that movie and it was hated, and a lot of it like people make fun of the cinematography, but I think there was really good shots of like duality of things. But anyways, that's if we do a Hobbs and Shaw eventually.
Yeah, I don't even think I've watched that.
Yeah, come to think of it, I never watched that one.
Are you
serious?
serious?
There was so much hate considered around that movie.
I didn't even know. I've heard the name. That's it.
It was the first one I went into without like it was like premiere day pretty much. Like not exactly, but I, like first week it came out, I went and saw it. But it was like I didn't read any reviews or anything.
Yeah.
But then the thing was, what I thought, and this is bringing it back to Fast 9. The trailers were absurd, but they were absurd in like it makes sense they're absurd because of like the actual plot, right? The fact that there's superhumans in it. But then you watch the trailer for Fast 9, which I busted out laughing, right? I was with my ex-girlfriend, we were watching it in bed, and we both start laughing. She loved the series, right?
Yeah.
Like, diehard fan of it. We're both laughing out loud because of the scene where Vin Diesel goes off the cliff and hooks his tire onto the bridge that's rickety and like slingshots himself up.
Yeah.
And then the car wrecks and looks like it would kill anybody inside, and then they just like crawled out. And I was laughing in the theaters too. Like it's absurd. Like but that made me want to watch it for the wrong reasons. I wasn't interested in the story. I'm like, this is so stupid. I want to watch it.
Yeah.
Hobbs and Shaw was like, okay, I want to know where they're gonna go with this. And I think that the cast that they did for Hobbs and Shaw was amazing. I think it fit perfectly for what they were doing. Over the top absurdity. Ryan Reynolds for the comedy, like it hit where the comedy was supposed to hit. It hit.
Yeah.
The Fast series doesn't do that for me anymore.
I think
other than like I said, the Tokyo Drift reference or whatever with Lucas Black.
I think that the comedy like that they were trying to push, which is I don't know, it's weird, was with Tej and Roman.
Yeah,
that's where the comedy was supposed to be. But then you look at like old Roman, and then you feel bad for Roman for like him to be played as a dumb character now.
He's just the one that's made fun of and is funny.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, but it's supposed to be funny that he's being made fun of all the time.
Yeah, and it almost seems like his character progression has fallen, and I feel bad that his character progression had fallen the way it has.
Well, it's crazy because Ludacris went the opposite way. Like in the beginning, he like was even a tech guy. Like he worked on cars, and he would like call people to like raise and lower bridges. But now he can like hack the whatever he hacked and like do all this like that's too much. That's there. It's funny because of how opposing they went with it. Yeah. Like Ludacris just got upset. And can we be honest? I think the person who had the easiest job in this whole thing, Ludacris.
Think so.
Like what acting does he really have to do? Does he have any true dramatic scenes? In the one dramatic scene he had, you even said it wasn't even that sad. When Roman died, quote unquote.
That's true.
He was just like, oh, and Ludacris went, "Give me all the money."
Yeah.
John Cena, you know what I mean? Dying. It's just, it was. I feel like this is such a cash grab. There are moments that are good, but it really just feels like a cash grab.
Yeah, that's fair. I can agree with that.
But I'm out of points. I went over everything I wanted to go over.
We went over the theories, the summarizing, pretty much all characters. I mean,
references. We did the post-credit scene. We did, which was crazy. He would have broke all of his shin bones. But yeah, I think.
What, Mr. Nobody didn't die? Wasn't he the one in the punching bag?
No, I don't think that was Kurt Russell in the punching. No, it was not.
It was the one. That was the one dude that was like friends or working with Jacob Toretto, John Cena.
No.
What was it or
no,
was it not?
No, it wasn't him. It wasn't. They wouldn't have put Kurt Russell in that because he's so old it would have actually hurt him.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was Kurt. Look up just look up the end credit scene on YouTube real quick, and we'll just see. And then we'll see who it really was.
I really want to say it was
him. I don't think it was. I think it was just like a random bad guy. I guess you could say who was in the bag.
That's true, actually. Oh.
Right there. Hold on, go up.
Oh.
Oh wait, never mind.
I was who was in the? It's right here. Okay, Deckard Shaw.
I think they would have said.
Hmm.
That was 2019. Oh my god, that was the last time I was happy in a relationship. That's crazy.
So what is it? His brother?
I don't know, cause he's dead, isn't he?
That's what I thought.
Jason Statham is Shaw. The other guy was Shaw. Their last name. Oh my god, their last name is Shaw. Yeah, but Deckard was dead, and that's why Jason Statham Deckard, or whatever Shaw wanted revenge.
We need to find the
Yeah,
actual
we're on.
video.
Just go to YouTube. Just go
Okay.
to YouTube and do post credit scene.
All right, so let's see.
Okay, so again, this podcast is not a visual podcast. I just wanted you to know that we told Daniel to go to YouTube and look it up. He went to Google and looked it up.
I was really hoping that they would just have
so,
it.
Absolutely not. I don't know where he thinks he is.
Yeah, we're gonna
It's
do it
crazy
here.
because he makes YouTube videos all the time. So who knows how he does
Not
this.
lately.
No. Okay, there we go.
Oh, let's watch that.
All right.
Oh, there was two posts. Oh, there wasn't.
Look at credit scene.
Yeah, post credit scene.
Boost. Oh. Yeah, there we go.
Who was in that dang bag? I mean, we could watch it from there.
Well, yeah, I
Post-credit
mean,
scene.
we can watch it from this if you want.
Oh, PSA. Always pay to watch the movie. This isn't the right movie.
Yeah, that's awkward.
Oh, hold on. Skip it. Skip it.
Like skip forward.
Like, yeah, see if it's like actually like further. Because this is Crank, I think. This is from. Yeah, okay. We got you baited. We got you baited hard. Go back. You know what? Let's just watch the drive-through theater footage. Because we don't need the. This isn't it. This is a whole
Okay,
different
this
movie.
isn't it.
Just go back. Yeah.
All right.
This one, just right there. Just the top. I think that's it, right?
That's why I clicked on.
Oh shoot! I'm sorry.
Wow, it's totally
I-
juking us.
Yeah, I didn't think that was.
Yeah, they.
down.
I don't
Oh
think. they're
yeah,
gonna...
that's it. That's his face. That's not Mr. Nobody.
Who is that?
I don't know. I think that's just some random bad guy. See,
God,
that would have
Okay,
broke
okay.
his. That would have broke everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like they have a dude acting like he's punching soft.
Who did you think it was? When you were watching this?
In the bag? I had no idea.
No,
thought-
punching. Did you know it was Shaw?
Oh, I figured.
Yeah, I didn't know who it was until she told me.
Yeah. I was. Oh wait. Just skip forward. Right there.
Okay.
See, that's not Mr. Nobody.
Do you think it'd be in the comments?
Sure, yeah. Oh, that's in a different language. Let's see.
Han versus Shaw. Okay, well that's not.
Yeah, I don't think it. I
Who is
think
in
it
the
was
bag?
Gombe.
Gombe. Gombe in the bag.
I think it was just a random like bad guy.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think it was because it would have said for sure.
Yeah, I
That's amazing. Take a screenshot of this. Take a screenshot of this right now,
this would probably
and then put it in the podcast, please. I know you don't do this.
Oh,
but
wait.
like somewhere in the podcast for the audio or for the YouTube channel.
You can screenshot on here?
Yeah. 'Cause that's
we only
hilarious.
really need this right here.
Do you want to narrate it, or do you mean it? I can narrate?
Yeah,
it.
you
know
go
what?
ahead,
You
go
know
ahead.
what? Let's play characters. All right.
Okay.
So
You beat Alan?
do you want me to be Alan? Okay.
Yeah.
If you and your friends had shut the fuck up, we could have heard what the character said.
Two Danger says, "Shut the fuck up! Your broke ass should have watched the movie."
and the person who uploaded the video liked the first one.
Yeah, I think it would have been funnier if it had liked this one.
He
But-
hearted it, man. That's
Yeah.
oh, I love YouTube so much.
yeah,
Oh.
comments, man. But I
miss
guess
it a
save
little
that.
All right.
But
Let's give this movie a rating.
yeah, let's give it
Yeah.
a rating. And
Do we? Okay, so I watched your guys' last podcast, and you didn't like have categories. You just said like blank out of 10. You
Yeah.
didn't really have a. So do you? Is that the standard you just do? Just blank out of 10. You don't like break it down.
let's just let's do a blank out of 10, and then we'll just do we'll
we
break
can
it up.
explain why. Yeah, we could. Yeah, that makes sense.
So okay, IMDb first of all gave this a 5.5 out of
Okay,
10.
yeah.
Okay, and Elaine, what would you give this out of 10?
Shoot. I'd probably give it a 7.5. I know. Well, it's not high for me. That's
Yeah.
low for me.
Oh, that's true. Okay.
But I'm just a diehard Fast and Furious fan. But this one, It felt so rushed, but not rushed, but long, but not. It was such.
Would you say the pacing was off?
Yeah, I think the pacing was off. It felt almost awkward with some of the stuff that we were, I guess, finding out. So I think that's why I give it that rating.
Yeah, Rain.
I want to say something before. What you should do for the next one, or if it's just you two, don't show each other the numbers or whatever, like the actual credit or whatever the Rotten Tomatoes is, and then what you should do as a segment is you both guess what you think it's going to be.
Oh, that's actually a good idea.
That would be really
fun.
Okay, so I think I would give it, I'd probably give it a 5 out of 10. Not only because the movie could have been cut into the 4 parts that I liked, and that would have been it. Like, the rest of the movie to me wasn't worth the watch.
That makes sense.
The pacing was super weird. A lot of the times I didn't understand what or why, and like a lot of the things could have been cut down, and like we didn't need it. It felt like a lot of filler for I don't know how much money this cost to make, but I'm assuming close to a couple $100 million movie.
Yeah, probably big. Yeah,
it felt very filler. Like, the moments that I cared about weren't the big action scenes. It was the character development that they did, which was very bare minimal. So I don't think it's horrible. I think if you haven't watched it, watch it once. But I don't think I'd rewatch this. I'd rewatch this in 5 years as a joke. Like, look how funny this was. But I give it a 5 out of 10.
Yeah, I mean, I can kind of like. I think IMDb is really close here. This is on, like, I would agree with 5.5.
Yeah.
For IMDb. Like, I can agree completely. This is definitely like I don't know. I want to say it's worse. Like, I don't know if I want to say it's the worst in the series.
Ooh, that's a tough question too. Ranking them all, that would be tough.
That would be longer,
I think I'd have to rewatch them all in one day.
I agree.
So I can have my head clear about all the movies.
Can we do that just as like a friend group?
Whole movie marathon, yeah.
And then we can do like 7 different podcasts for it. Anyways, you were saying.
But I just feel like 5.5 is probably what I would go with.
I want to retrospectively change my score.
Okay.
I'm gonna give it a 6.
Okay.
I'm gonna give it a 6 because it's something that I feel like when I'm dead tired and everything is funny to me, I would watch this again.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10 because I feel like 5 is too low because there were good moments, and I like the potential that was shown for it to go better. So I'm gonna, like I said, retrospectively, I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10 or 6 out of 10. Sorry.
All right.
5 I feel like was too low.
That's fair. That's fair. I'm still gonna stick with my 5.5.
Yeah.
I agree with IMDb on this one, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if you guys have an official way. We did it. This is what podcasts are supposed to be.
Yeah, we made it an hour.
Yeah.
This is a podcast.
Well, no, that was sounding a bit like I was digging at you guys.
No.
I'm saying like for like an ad run or whatever. Usually you'd have like 2 or 3 now.
Yeah.
But anywho, I want to say thank you for letting me come on. I've been wanting to come on to this podcast for a while. I was super excited to write everything, do the stupid ad read. You can delete that if you want. I just thought it'd be fun. I thought you guys would laugh more at it.
I'd like to keep it in.
Like, it went serious, and I was like, okay. Because I was thinking in the car, I'm like, how do I make this like too much? You know what I mean? Like, it made it seem like I ran my own. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just went all out. Oh, another thing that I want to talk about before I end. I'm so sorry. I feel so bad.
Go ahead.
But this is my first time on, so I'm just gonna go off. You guys need an intro song.
An intro song.
Yeah, an intro song.
Yeah.
Like 100%.
Yeah.
Like a specific, bed and podcast song.
No, I agree with that.
That would be amazing. Because like the music is good, but if you had something catchy, just
that I just threw in like something that I've made before, like years ago, and just because I couldn't really find a good, because like I want something that feels like Bed and Podcast, and it doesn't feel Bed and Podcast.
Gotcha.
And that's, I mean,
okay, we'll talk about it after because I don't want to run it over, but I have some ideas that maybe we could run through together.
Okay.
This is what I'm gonna do. I think it'd be fun for the podcast. I'm gonna give you guys a review as a listener and then also as a guest.
Okay.
Really quick before we end.
Okay.
So as a listener, I'd give it a good 7.5.
Okay.
It feels very much so like an early podcast that has the potential to be big.
Okay.
So that's why I wouldn't give it an 8 or a 9 because there are things that obviously, like, it's not big status yet.
Yeah.
But it shows a lot of potential. As a guest, I'd probably give it like an 8. It was a lot of fun.
That's good. That's good.
You guys are so easy to just bounce off of. Like, I didn't feel uncomfortable being here at all for this. And we've had moments where things have been kind of uncomfortable. Like, just awkward chemistry moments, but I think we kind of worked together. Like we all bounced off each other.
No, I agree with that. I agree.
Yeah. So, like I said, thank you so much. I appreciate being here. You guys should 100%, and you got to do this. You should go down to the description to click on the Spotify and save it, because I can't find it on Spotify. When I search it, I can't find it. So if you could put a link for me, even just for me,
I've been forgetting that link actually.
Okay, well I'm gonna make sure you have to.
That is my fault, man.
Listeners of this podcast at the moment, if you're on YouTube, please go down to the description. All the links for the Spotify and stuff like that are gonna be there. If you have a Spotify account, make sure to like at least one of the podcasts so you have it in your playlist. Add it to the playlist. Get ready for the next one, because I feel like they're just gonna be getting better and better from here. Yeah, and if you haven't heard the early ones, go back and listen to them. If you haven't seen Percy Jackson in a while, it's a great review. It's a great understanding of how to watch it, and also like. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. If I don't want to pay to go see a movie, maybe I'll just listen to you guys talk about it.
That is fair.
So that's a pretty good benefit to you guys.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. But thank you both. I appreciate you both.
Yeah, and I appreciate you. I'm glad that you were here, because like honestly, it kind of gave me some like inspiration to like how I want to write down notes and stuff like that, and kind of be like, I guess like more on top of the movie as far as remembering scene by scene, because like, to be honest, that last podcast, man, I drew the biggest blank.
To be fair, you guys killed it. For like, knowing now that you didn't remember everything, I got a grasp of what was going on.
That's good.
I loved, oh my god, dude, when you said that Ryan Reynolds was sitting in the swing and then he unbuckled to get out, I laughed in the car.
Oh, good.
Like I hadn't even seen the movie, but it was just like the way you guys described it was, I could see it so vividly.
They went from one clip to one, and he's just like...
It was good.
To be fair, it makes me want to go watch the movies. So I guess it's a good thing for the actual movie studio that doesn't actually need any more promotion. But yeah.
But this has been the Better Than Podcast. Our our guest Rain. Yeah. Thank you again.
Yeah, thank you guys. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, and thank you guys for coming out to this episode, and I hope you guys want to stay for more. You guys can follow us on Spotify and go to the link below if you're on YouTube. You can find us there as well, and thank you guys for watching.
Use Anchor.
Oh,
sorry.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.